Arrived at the end of the road in Venice, Louisiana, after a 2-hour car ride to St. Charles Parish. Part of my social studies project is to visit the settlement of Pilottown, which is presently the last inhabited town near the mouth. I've arrived at Pilottown and I will now interview Roy Lunk, who is an area supervisor for Texaco Pipeline Company. He will give some information on the company operations here at Pilottown. How long has Texaco Pipeline Company been in Pilottown?
Well, we started here in about 1942 with two tanks. We now have six. And we started moving off the Garden Island and Delta Duck Wildlife Refuge field into Pilottown.
Okay. When did you start working here and what were your job duties?
I was down here from 65 to 75 as the area supervisor. We had about 6 men per crew working on a 7-on, 7-off basis. And we used to load about 3 ships a week from our loading dock and 4 or 5 barges a week. We had a lot of oil. We were producing about 70,000 barrels a day. And we kept pretty busy.
How many barrels do you produce now?
Today we just producing about 4,000 barrels per day. Still have the same 2 fields and the same pipelines. We just not making nearly the amount of oil that we did back then.
What changes has the company made in its Pilottown operation from the time you first started working here to the present?
Well, there's very few changes other than the reduction of people. As the oil decreased, the amount of people decreased to where now we just have 2 men working on only 7-off basis. And we hardly ever get any ships at our dock anymore. We mostly just get a barge, and it's probably about 4 times a month.
How has the town changed since you first came here?
The town?
The town.
Well, the town of Pilottown, when I first come here, had about 25 families. Right now, I guess they may be 4 or 5 families left. There used to be a lot of young people here raising kids, and because of the storms and because of the school situation and because of a lot of things, they all left and moved on to Purist and Belle Chase, and up in that area, just a few of the older people are left now. Really just a couple old hands that's left over here on the island.
Thank you for your time. Talking with me.
All right.
Show you some of Texaco's facilities. Here's some of the camps and houses along the Pilottown walkway. these two houses right here are where the school and where the school teacher used to live. Mr. Harvey Carr is a resident of Pilottown and will give us some information on what it's like to live here. Mr. Harvey, where were you born in Pilottown, and if not, how long have you lived here?
I was born in the center of Pilottown and I lived here for 73 and a half years. Born in Pilottown.
What is it like growing up here?
Well, them days was pretty nice. You had everything. You could do what you want. You could fish, you could swim. We had schools. Everything was nice, you know. Picture show, everything.
Where and how did you get educated?
Had a schoolhouse down at the lower end of the island, and they taught you till the 8th grade. You finished there, then you went to Buren High School.
What was the school on the island like?
It was nice. It was just a two-room building, that's all, and all the kids was there. I mean, about 20 or 30 kids.
When did the schoolhouse close?
Now you talk about Camille, the one that
This one's
just
on the
closed.
island.
After Hurricane Camille, I guess about 70, 80 something, I believe, 82, something like that.
What was it like in Pilottown before you got electricity?
Well, people were used to it. They lived by lamps, candles, and stoves, kerosene stoves. And most of them had little generators. I mean, a light, till they went to bed at night. And that was it. Ice box, ice chest, no ice box, not ice chest. You put ice in it every week, and then put your meat and stuff on top to block ice.
What did you do to earn a living here?
Well, I worked for the river pilots, worked for Texaco, worked for Freeport Sulphur until I retired. Most of the time for the river pilots and bar pilots.
I have heard that Hurricane Betsy and Hurricane Camille caused severe damage at Pilottown. How many times have you had to start all over again?
Well, Camille, I lost everything I had, and I even had a name the next day after Camille. I had to get all my papers back and everything else. I didn't have nothing. So I had to start all over then. But before I just had for Betsy and all of them, I just had a little damage, nothing much.
Did you ride out any storms on the island?
Every one they had. Never one I left there.
When was the first time you got electricity here?
That was after Camille. No, before Camille, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's a good many years now. That was after Betsy, I believe. Yeah. Then they had to put up the poles after Camille because they all went down in Camille.
How do you,
Go ahead.
how do you get the supplies you need to live here?
Well, most people got their own little boats, outboards and stuff, and if you don't have that, I mean, you go on a bar pilot boat or a river pilot boat, go to Venice and pick them up. IGA.
How has Pilottown changed over the years?
Days before it used to be a nice place, but now you don't have anything here. I mean, there's no people. There's only about 8 or 10 old people that can barely walk anymore. And like I say, there's nobody here. I mean, just elderly
The
people.
Pilottown post office, and here is where all the residents get their mail under the general delivery of Pilottown, Louisiana. This house behind me is Mr. Lewis Miller is one of the ship pilots who work here in Pilottown. He's been kind enough to talk with me about the unusual job he has. Mr. Miller, what is the name of your association?
This is the Associated Branch Pilots.
Okay. How long have you worked as a ship's pilot?
I started piloting in January 1953. Prior to that, I was apprenticed for 5 years.
What do pilots do?
Well, pilots direct the movement of the ships in the restricted waters of any port in the world, every place in the world has pilots, local people who are more or less guides. Anybody who shows somebody how to go any place, more or less a pilot. And what we do is show guide ships in the local waters of the port.
Okay. Do you believe your job is dangerous?
It can be dangerous. We board and this involves ships at sea. So anytime you have to leave a ship and jump down in a little small boat, it can be dangerous. Historically, we've had a fairly good safety record. In our history, we've only lost a couple of pilots at sea. And of course, we have some men who have been severely injured. It is considered a dangerous occupation. Our insurance premiums reflect that very strongly.
Okay. Do you live in Pilottown, or do you just work a shift?
Well, bar pilots live here half their lives. We work a 2-week cycle, and while we're on duty, we're here at Pilottown and we stay here. And then we go off and we make the rest of our lives wherever we want to. I personally live in New Orleans.
Why is there a need for bar pilots and river pilots?
Well, the need is obvious when you think about it. These ships coming from all over the world with all kinds of crews, and some of them have been here maybe once, some have never been here before, and the law requires that they have a pilot. This is common throughout the whole world. Pilot services dates back long before the United States was even formed, pilots in the rest of the world. Our service here is broken almost for 150 years.
Is it true that when you board a ship, you are in charge of the vessel?
No, that's not true. Pilot here and throughout the whole world is an advisor to the captain of the ship, who is always in charge of the ship. And although it may appear that we are in charge, the ship actually we are under the supervision and control of the captain of the ship. The only place that the pilot is 100% control of the ship is in the Panama Canal. And before a ship can transit the Panama Canal, the captain has to give permission to the pilot to have full control of the ship, and again, the U.S. government is responsible for any problem that occurs.
What kinds of cargo do these ships carry?
Well, just about anything that you use in your daily life is carried on the ship. Components of it or the whole products. We bring in anything from automobiles, we set out big tractors, we export a tremendous amount of grain from the United States to all parts of the world. Every kind of grain you can think of. Minerals are brought in and out. We export a lot of coal from this port because of the connecting waterways that makes it economically feasible to use barges to bring the heavy bulk cargo down.
Riverport Pilot Association, and Captain J.H. Miller will be boarding the Ostraco, which is a 850-foot, 92,000 deadweight. on the sidewalk. We have reached the last resident of Pilottown, Louisiana. This concludes our video presentation of